We continue now at the top of Daf Tzadi Dalet Amud Beis Mesechet Kesuvos. This is Kesuvos Daf 94b. On the previous summit, the Gemara was discussing a case. Let's say two people have a star for the same property, and the star has the same date on it. So Rav said Yachloku. Rav said you have to divide the property, and the Gemara suggested that Rav was following Rabbi Meir, who says Eidei Chasima Karti. That it's the Eidim that are signed on the star that give the power to the star, and therefore they have equal power. Both shtaros are equal. They have equal claim to the property, and therefore they divide it. Now Shmuel said Shuda Dedaini, which means that it's left to the discretion of the judges, and they have to decide who they think the person who gave the field or sold the field really wanted to give it to. And so the Gemara now suggests, Shmuel Damar Rebbe Lazar. Let us suggest that Shmuel follows Rebbe Lazar. Diyamar Edim Mesira Karti there, because Rebbe Lazar says that it's the Edim who witness the giving of the star that really create the power of the star. As Rashi over here says, Shmuel Damar Rebbe Lazar, Diyamar Afa B'She'ena Lavedim. Rebbe Lazar actually says, if you have a star, even if there are no Edim signed on the star, Elishan Nasnu B'Fnei Edim, just that the star was given over and Edim were there to witness the transmission of the star. That's considered a real star, and you can use that star to collect even from property with a lien on it. The only reason, according to Rebbe Lazar, that Edim sign a get is just because of it's an institution to benefit the world, because Shema Yamusu Edim Mesira, because maybe the Edim Mesira will die, so you want to have evidence, you want to have the Eidei Chasima. Maybe they'll travel far away, they won't be accessible. Alma Eidei Mesira Ikr. So you see that the Eidei Mesira really are the Ikr. And so therefore, how does that fit over here? Over here, maybe one of the two recipients was really the one that was supposed to receive it. He was more beloved by the person who gave the land. And really he received the star first. And really the second one is just misleading. Therefore, we don't really know who gets the land. And we say, Shuda Dedaini, let it be left to the discretion of the judge. According to what the judges have seen, who is this person more frequently with? The Shuda Adifa Mechaluk. It's better to use Shuda Dedaini. It's better to use the discretion of the judge to try to determine who he really wanted to give the land to, rather than to simply divide. And the Gemara says, no, don't suggest that Rav goes like Rabbi Meir and Shmuel goes like Rabbi Lazar. Rather, the Kuli Alma Rabbi Lazar. Rather, everybody agrees like Rabbi Lazar. Edim Mesira Karti. And here the Machlokas Rav and Shmuel is as follows. Rav Savar Chaluka Adifa. Rav holds, even in a situation like this, where really there is one person that may have been given the property, but we don't know who it is, so it's better to just divide. Shmuel Savar Shuda Dedaini Adifa. And Shmuel says, no, it's better to leave it to the discretion of the judges. But the Gemara continues, but can you really say that Rav follows Rebbe Lazar, which is what we are now suggesting? But Rav Yehuda said that Rav said, halachic Rebbe Lazar begittin, that the halach is like Rebbe Lazar when it comes to gittin, meaning when it comes to divorce documents specifically, and therefore Rav was saying when it comes to shtaros, the halach is not like Rebbe Lazar. And Ke'amrisa Kami de Shmuel, when this was said over in front of Shmuel, meaning Rav Yehuda said, when I said this teaching over it from Rav, when I said this teaching over to Shmuel, what Rav said, Amar Af b'shtaros. So Shmuel responded and said, no, the halach is like Rebbe Lazar even by shtaros. So we understand that Shmuel can follow Rebbe Lazar, but it does not seem like Rav follows Rebbe Lazar by shar shtaros. Mechlal, this implies the Rav summer b'shtaros low, that Rav holds by other shtaros, not by divorce documents. The halacha follows Rabbi Meir, not Rebbe Lazar. Ela machvar to Rav Rabbi Meir, Shmuel Rebbe Lazar. Rather, the Gemara says, go back to what we said originally. Rav follows Rabbi Meir, and Shmuel follows Rebbe Lazar. And the Gemara continues, Meisvei, we have the following question, Shnei shtaros hayotzim biyom echad. It says in the Brisa, if you have two shtaros and they both have the same date, cholkin, we divide. So that seems to be exactly what Rav said. So the Gemara says, to the Shmuel, this seems to be a refutation of Shmuel, because it is saying that we divide, we do not do shuda dedaini. And the Gemara answers, Amar lach Shmuel, no, Shmuel can respond to you very simply, Hamani Rabbi Meir, he, the author of this Brisa, who is it? The author of this Brisa is Rabbi Meir, meaning Rabbi Meir is the one that says, Eidei Chasima Karti, and indeed, according to Rabbi Meir, they do split it. This Brisa follows Rabbi Meir, but Shmuel follows V'ano da'amri Rebbe Lazar. And Shmuel says, but I follow Rebbe Lazar. But the Gemara says you can't say this Brisa is Rabbi Meir, because if you're going to say this Brisa is Rabbi Meir, Amos Seifel. Let's look at the end of this Brisa. The Brisa says, Kasav le'echad u'masar la'acher. Let's say you have a situation where he wrote the star to one individual, but then he actually gave a star to another individual. So Zeh shemasar lo kana. So it's the one that he gave the star to, that's the one that really makes the kinyan. That sounds like the Brisa is holding Eidei Mesira Karti. Rashi over here says, Kasav le'echad hashtar v'lo masar lo. He wrote a star for one person, but didn't give it to him. But then he wrote another star, a second star to somebody else, and he gave it to him. And it seems to be that we follow the one that was the Mesira, the Eidem Mesira Karti. Rabbi Meir, my Kona, that's what the Gemara says. If this Brisa follows Rabbi Meir, why should the second person be Kona? Ha'amar Eidei Chasima Karti. Rabbi Meir is the one that says Eidei Chasima Karti. As Rashi says, Rabbi Meir elolav Rabbi Lazar. It must be this Brisa Rabbi Lazar. V'ikol Meimar Shuda, v'ikol Meimar Chaluk, and the Brisa seems to be saying even within Rabbi Lazar there is this possibility of Cholkin. There's a possibility to, of course, to say Shuda the Daini according to Rabbi Lazar, but there's a possibility to say divide. V'katani Cholkin. That's what it says in the Brisa Cholkin. Alma Chaluk Adif. It seems like from this Brisa, dividing is better even within Rabbi Lazar, and therefore this would be a question on Shmuel, because again Shmuel said Shuda the Daini. And so the Gemara answers to this Tanaihi, that actually it is a machlokas Tanoim. In other words, what Shmuel will say is, you're correct. This brisa which follows Rabbi Lazar does say Cholken and goes against what I say, but there's another brisa that supports what I say of Shuda the Daini. The Tanya, as we learned in a brisa of Chachamim Omrim, says that the Chachamim say Yachloku, that they divide it. V'kan Amru, but here they say Ma'ishayir Tzahashlish Yasa, that whatever the third party wants to do, he does. So you see here a machlok is whether it's better to say Cholken or whether it's better to say Shuda the Daini, because Ma'ishayir Tzahashlish Yasa is essentially the same as Shuda the Daini. Rashi over here says, Tanoi, it's machlokas Tanoim, ikol aman davar shuda adif, ikol aman davar chaluka adif. One says that it's better to leave it to the discretion of the judges, and the other one says that it's better to divide in such a situation, even within Rabbi Lazar, where we know that really one party is the one that really should get it, we just don't know which. There is a machlokas, whether shuda is adif or chaluka is adif. V'chachamim omrim, this price is talking about the following, v'shili parakama de Gittin, this is at the end of the first parak of Gittin, holech mana leploni v'holach uviksha v'lo matzo shemei. So what happened was, the person tells a shliach, take a money, take 100 dinar to Ploni. He goes and he looks for him, he doesn't find him, the guy dies. So yachzur l'meshaleach, so you have to return the money now to the person who sent him. Meisa meshaleach, now what if the person who sent him, that person died? So yachzur l'yarshim, so then in that situation already, you have to return to the yarshim. Ad v'chachamim omer, but then the chachamim say yachloku yarshim meshaleach v'yarshim mishin eshtalchu lo. The chachamim say, so we really don't know who it goes to, so we say cholkin. Those who inherit the meshaleach and those who it was sent to, those yarshim, they have to divide it. But over here we say, no, better just to do whatever that person who is delivering it, whatever he feels should be done with it, that's what should be done. Meaning the shliach should basically, it's left to his discretion. So you see that leaving it to the discretion of the judge or the shliach, that is better. So again, you see there's a machlokas tanoim with regard to this matter. And the Gemara continues, Imei de Rami Bar Chama, the mother of Rami Bar Chama, Kasvatinu lenichsa l'Rami Bar Chama b'tzafar. She wrote all of her property over to Rami Bar Chama in the morning. La'orsa, and then in the evening, Kasvatinu l'Marukva, she wrote the property over to Marukva Bar Chama. Marukva Bar Chama and Rami Bar Chama, they were brothers. So also Rami Bar Chama l'kamei de Rav Sheshes. So Rami Bar Chama, he went in front of Rav Sheshes, and Ukmei b'nichsa. So he said, you get the property, because Rami Bar Chama was the one that it was earlier, it was in the morning, as opposed to Marukva Bar Chama, which was in the evening. So also Marukva l'kamei de Rav Nachman. So at that point, Marukva, he went to a different judge. He went to Rav Nachman, and Ukmei b'nichsa, and so Rav Nachman said that Marukva is the one that gets the property. So also Rav Sheshes l'kamei de Rav Nachman. So Rav Sheshes came before Rav Nachman. Amar Lei said to him, my time of Marhachi. Why did the master paskin like this? Amar Lei, so he said back to him, my time of Marhachi. Why did the master paskin like this? Why did you paskin the other way? Amar Lei dekadim. So he said very simply, Rav Sheshes said, he was earlier, meaning Rami Bar Chama, his star was written in the morning, therefore he was earlier, that's why I gave it to him. Amar Lei, so Rav Nachman said back to Rav Sheshes, Atub Yerushalayim Yasvinan, are we sitting now in Yerushalayim? The Chazvinan shows where we write the hours in the star. If it's the same day, it's the same day. It doesn't matter what hour. We don't write the hours in the star. Elamar, my time of it, Hachi. So then Rav Sheshes said to Rav Nachman, so the master, so Rav Nachman, why did you paskin what you paskin? I understand it doesn't go to the person who has precedence, who has it earlier in terms of hours, because we don't care about hours, but why should we give it to Marukva Bar Chama? So Amar Lei, so Rav Nachman said, Shuda the Daini, it's left to the discretion of the judge, and therefore to me, it seemed to me that this would have been the individual, the brother that it would have been given to. Amar Lei, so then Rav Sheshes said back to Rav Nachman, Anonami Shuda the Daini, well, I also, it's the discretion of the judge, and I say it should go to Rami Bar Chama, not to Marukva Bar Chama. So Amar Lei, so Rav Nachman then said to Rav Sheshes, Chada, number one, Dano Daino Marlav Daina. I actually am a judge, you're not a judge. But we say the discretion of the judges, so that could count for me, but not for you. V'yod, and furthermore, make kara la b'torah sachi asasla. Originally, that's not why you paskin. you didn't paskin to give it to Rami Bar Chama because of the fact of Shuda Dedaini. You paskin to give it to Rami Bar Chama because he had the earlier star, but that really is not the proper psak. It's not earlier if it's all the same day, and therefore your Shuda Dedaini does not really count. So the Gemara says, "Elamar my time abed hachi." Again, Rav Sheshes asked Rav Nachman, "So why did you paskin that anyways? Why not say divide it if the shtaros are equal?" So he said, "Shuda Dedaini, Rebbe Elazar, Damar Edi Mesira Karti." I follow Rebbe Elazar Edi Mesira Karti. There is going to be one winner over here. V'linirish Azay Yachaviv Lo Yoser, and it appears to me that Marukva Bar Chama was more beloved to her than Rami Bar Chama. So Shuda Dedaini, it's my discretion to give it to Marukva. The Kadma Masr Lo Tchila. She went ahead and she gave it to him first, but really it was meant to be given to Marukva Bar Chama. And so Rashi continues, Amar Leah no nami. So Rav Shesha said, well, I also the same thing to have a didi Shuda Dedaini. I'm also Shuda Dedaini. It's my discretion. V'kevan shepasakti ani adin shuvein loch koach lotzimado. I already paskin Rami Bar Chama. You can't say Marukva Bar Chama. Sharayatzmi bezin zakoi b'Shuda Dedaini, because Rami Bar Chama already has won with this Shuda Dedaini, with my discretion, because I am a judge. And Rav Nachman said, no, I'm not daina pi rosh galusa by yeshiva. I'm considered a judge. I was appointed by the Reish Galusa, by the yeshiva, but you were not. And furthermore, la b'torah sachi asas lo amar tam shelcha mishum shuda dedaini. You didn't say when you gave it to Rami Bar Chama was shuda dedaini. El mishum dekadim mechasim Rabbi Meir. You said it was because the signature was earlier, following Rabbi Meir. Uvezuto yisad la b'Yerushalayim yasvina. And in this regard, you made a mistake, because we are not sitting right now in Yerushalayim. And the Gemara continues, Hanu Trei Shtori, the Asal Akami de Rav Yosef. There were two documents that came before Rav Yosef. Chadav Akosav B'Chamsha B'Nisan. One of them said the 5th of Nisan. Chadav Akosav B'Ei B'Nisan Stam. And one just said Nisan. It didn't say the 5th of Nisan. So the question is, which one was considered to be first? Which person would get the field? Rashi over here says, Hanu Trei Shtori Shal Mecher Sheyotzu Al Sada Achas. There were two documents of a sale that were going on one field. Again, one says Nisan, one says the 5th of Nisan. Which one takes precedence? And so the Gemara says, Ukmei Rav Yosef lahu de chamsha ben Nisan ben Chasim. So Rav Yosef said, the one that says the 5th of Nisan, he gets the property. Amar le'idach. So the other one said, which said Nisan, he said, V'anoav said, I should lose out. So maybe mine was first. Amar Le said, no, at yodchal tachtona, your hand is the lower hand. Ema bar chavtes ben Nisan, because yours might have been, for all we know, the 29th of Nisan. So therefore the 5th of Nisan wins. So Amar Le, so then this person where it just said Nisan Stama, so he said to Rav Yosef, V'nichtav limar, so at least the master should write for me as follows, and we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Tzadi Hey Amud Aleph.